Is this the future of programmatic SEO? Perplexity AI just released the mother of all programmatic SEO plays, and early signs show that it's working. If Google doesn't do anything about this, it could dramatically increase Perplexity's reach, cutting Google off at the knees and potentially stealing substantial market share. Meanwhile, SEOs have been busy digging deeper into the recent Google API leaks, and they found some new unexpected gold that could change the way you do SEO. Welcome to this week's Marketing News Roundup. I'm Mark Webster, co-founder of Authority Hacker and strategic advisor at Marketing Pros. This video is brought to you by Search Intelligence. More about them a little later. But for now, let's dive into Perplexity and their game-changing approach to programmatic SEO. Perplexity, the conversational AI search engine launched in 2022, just released an exciting new feature that doubles as an infinitely scalable programmatic SEO play. Perplexity Pages lets you generate a customizable, shareable web page based on your prompts. You type in what you want to learn about, and Perplexity will search for information, breaking it down into sections, citing sources, and adding visuals. And Google is indexing and ranking these pages. Take this page about axe murderer Candy Montgomery. It's currently ranking number 3 for the Candy Montgomery keyword, and Ahrefs shows that it should net about 32,000 page views per month. The information and user experience are actually better than many pure content sites. The headings are logically structured, and there are plenty of cited sources, relevant images, and even a sidebar menu with jump links. More importantly, there are no intrusive ads or pop-ups. It's like Wikipedia on steroids, with one major improvement. You can ask follow-up questions and even create a shareable page that includes those questions. Users can easily create an endless stream of hyper-specific pages that anticipate and answer questions that readers are most likely to have. This user-generated scalability has massive SEO potential for Perplexity, and potential traffic ramifications for publishers too. A study from BrightEdge found that referral traffic from Perplexity to websites has gone up over 40% since January. Now, to be fair, we're not quite sure whether this is due to increased usage or just better citations, but the responses contain an average of 5.28 citations, so there's plenty of room for publishers to fit in here. And some webmasters are already reporting receiving traffic from Perplexity. But one big question remains: will Google rank these pages even though they're mostly AI generated? It's still early, but so far they're allowing it. Pages are getting indexed, and some are even being used in featured snippets and AI overviews. But if Google allows Perplexity pages to rank so well, aren't they basically admitting that the best results they can provide is from one of their main competitors? Now, on the flip side, if they do hit Perplexity with a manual penalty, it would be pretty hypocritical, especially considering Google is sharing its own AI answers for many queries. By the way, if you're not yet subscribed to our channel, aren't you basically admitting that you don't want to stay ahead of your competitors by getting cutting-edge marketing news and analysis each week? Well, turns out 82% of you tune in every week but aren't yet subscribed. So why not go hit that subscribe button right now to stay in the loop? We'll of course keep an eye on how these Perplexity pages evolve and rank. But for now, let's turn to another big story this week. It's a little unexpected, but after staying silent for days, Google has officially confirmed that a massive leak of over 2,500 search API documents is actually authentic. In a statement to Search Engine Land, Google spokesperson Davis Thompson said, "We would caution against making inaccurate assumptions about search based on out of context, outdated, or incomplete information. We've shared extensive information about how search works and the types of factors that our systems weigh, while also working to protect the integrity of our results from manipulation." While Google's official statement doesn't provide any specifics, the admission potentially makes this the biggest news in recent SEO history, and it's also given the SEO community the green light to dive headfirst into the documentation. We've already covered the initial analysis from Rand Fishkin and Mike King, who broke the story, in our previous video. But here are 3 interesting new reports that have come out this week. Let's start with Andrew Ansley from Search Engine Land. He's been trawling through the documentation since it leaked and has made some compelling discoveries. The first is an attribute called page quality. The documentation indicates that Google uses a large language model, or LLM, similar to Gemini or GPT-4, to estimate how much effort goes into making a good piece of content. This finding is particularly interesting because the cost of large language models are tied to their token usage. Google likely has a cutoff token number for this and may only evaluate the top of longer pages. It also means that asking an LLM like GPT-4 or Gemini how original a piece of content is could help you to estimate how Google values your page's effort level. Ansley suggests adding tools, images, video, unique information, and appropriate depth of information to get a higher score on this effort calculation. The hotly debated concept of topical authority seems to have been partially validated, and the findings from the leak appear to line up with Google's topical authority patents. The documents contain a few relevant attributes. One is site focus score, which evaluates how focused a site is on a particular topic. Another is site radius, which measures how much your pages deviate from Google's perception of what your site is about. The main takeaway is that Google measures your site's topic focus and how your individual pages deviate from that focus. Sticking to your lane and only posting about closely related topics is a good idea. If you must strongly deviate from your normal topic, provide ample context in your post. Another interesting finding is the host NSR term, which Ansley believes stands for Normalized Site Rank. His interpretation is that Google analyzes random chunks of your website. And this means that it's crucial that all your pages are up to standard because you're never going to know which pages Google is going to evaluate. This would likely validate the concept of content pruning and associated case studies, anchoring it as an SEO best practice. And if you're posting unnecessarily long content to try and make your content seem higher quality to Google, you might want to reconsider. Ansley says that short content does not equal thin content. A good piece of short content stands a solid chance of ranking against longer content. There's also a lot of information related to Google's interpretation of spam. Factors include gibberish, which Ansley believes measures spun content, filler content, and other such nonsense. A keyword stuffing spam score, and this indicates that you shouldn't overload your content with exact match keywords, as it could bring down your own rankings. And spam word score, which means certain words are more spammy than others. Ansley's also discovered a page dedicated entirely to anchor text. Two big findings here. First, there's a trusted target metric associated with spam anchor text. Basically, when you become trusted, Google lets you get away with spammier tactics. This validates why big sites can get away with mass publishing mediocre content across many verticals. We love you, Forbes. And Google measures how much of a document contains spam anchor text. This is probably a link farm detection method, so any link farms out there might consider selling fewer links per page. To round out the analysis, here are some of Ansley's most actionable remaining insights and recommendations. Make sure you have a well-designed and intuitive site architecture. This will help optimize for the nav boost algorithm. And it's also just a good idea for user experience. Remove or no index pages that aren't topically relevant. You don't want to muddy Google's perception of what your core topic is with irrelevant content. Update your content regularly. And when updating, add unique info, new images, and video content to improve your page quality score. Optimize your headings around search queries and make the paragraphs under the headings answer those queries clearly and succinctly. Impression growth is a great sign. If you're seeing impressions increasing, you're heading in the right direction. Delete underperforming pages. If user engagement metrics are low and the page has had sufficient time to improve without success, remove it from your site. And this all points to an idea we've been promoting for a long time. Small, tidy sites are better than larger, bloated, and unmaintained ones. So don't produce content if you can't maintain it. Let's move on to Tom Capper from Moz, whose findings highlight the importance of brand building. Capper suggests that Google looks at the link to branded search volume ratio. If a site has a lot of links, but no one is searching for the brand name specifically, that's a red flag. This ratio could be a component of how the Panda algorithm or even the helpful content update works. Finally, Liv Day from Digital Loft shared some intriguing insights related to link building and digital PR. According to Day, Google tags links coming from high-quality news sites. This could mean that links from these sources are weighted more heavily in the ranking systems. Google may be ignoring links from irrelevant content. Day specifically points out the anchor mismatch demotion attribute, which he says is likely intended to ignore links that have a relevancy mismatch between the source and the target. Another potential finding is that links from sites in the same country as yours are important. Google seems to store the countries to which the source page is most relevant, suggesting that links from sources in the same country as the target page are weighted stronger. Google also appears to use a set of trusted seed sites to determine the value of links. The only confirmed seed site is the New York Times, though other authoritative news sites are likely in this group. The closer a site is to one of these trusted seed sites, the more valuable the link. Funnily enough, the New York Times being a trusted seed site didn't stop Google dropping the Wirecutter's traffic by over 30% in the last few months, according to Ahrefs. The last major finding is that content surrounding a link also helps to give context. The importance of surrounding context has strongly been suspected, but it's nice to have some confirmation that it's not just the anchor text you should be looking at. The Google leak has made it clear how valuable digital PR can be, and Google could use a lesson in PR themselves. More on that in a bit. But while we're talking about digital PR, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Search Intelligence. They recently ran a groundbreaking PR campaign that landed over 60 high-quality links and placements. Here's how they did it. They began by diving into SimilarWeb, discovering that OpenAI's website had skyrocketed to 44th in the global traffic rankings, thanks to ChatGPT's popularity. Using this stat, they crafted a detailed press release about their findings and sent it out to journalists. The result? Their story was featured on some of the world's most reputable websites, including Yahoo News, DR92, The Wrap, DR84, and Time Magazine, DR92. This campaign shows that PR link building doesn't always require massive datasets. Sometimes even simple statistics presented clearly to the press can result in a bounty of links. So if you're looking to enhance your link building with an innovative digital PR campaign, head over to search-intelligence.co.uk. Google's AI overviews have had a pretty bumpy rollout. They were recently roasted in the mainstream media outlets over inaccurate and potentially harmful AI answers. As a result, they've pulled back on the throttle, showing overviews in just 15% of queries nowadays, compared to 84% when SGE was in its initial rollout. In a press release, Google Search VP Liz Reed has responded to the uproar. While she acknowledged the widespread criticism and bizarre results, she ultimately told the Google line that AI overviews are increasing user satisfaction. Blame for the weird and potentially harmful AI answers were mostly placed on people making fake screenshots and asking ridiculous questions. Reed has also said that AI overviews generally don't hallucinate or make things up in the same way that other LLM products might. What she forgot to mention is that Google has been scrambling to manually remove the most embarrassing AI overviews. Instead, she blamed the mistakes on other things like misinterpreting queries, misinterpreting the nuances of language on the web, or not having great information available. And funnily enough, she said that we saw AI overviews that featured sarcastic or trolly content from discussion forums. Now, I have a suggestion here. Maybe, just maybe, that's due to the fact that Reddit ranks on top of virtually every query now with over 600 million monthly page views, and is therefore used as context for these answers. So the content Google chose to favor in search, including old, irrelevant, and spam threads, is now poisoning its own AI answers. Yeah, no one saw that one coming. The changes made to AI overviews include better detection for nonsensical queries, limiting the use of satire and user-generated content, restricting queries where overviews aren't helpful, and additional triggering refinements to improve health-related answers. What do we take from this? Well, Google is on the defensive, but they refuse to admit fault for virtually all of the product's flaws. AI overviews clearly remain the future for their search product though, and there is no plan B. This seems to have been a temporary and embarrassing setback, but let's remember how silly some of the earliest ChatGPT models sounded compared to now. AI overviews will improve, but until then, they've massively scaled them back. So the impact on your traffic should be tamed for now. How are we so sure of that? Well, SEO expert Cyrus Shepard recently ran an experiment where he managed to get his website included in the AI overview. He simply rewrote the AI answer he saw in the SERP on his site. However, this made him lose the featured snippet for the query, and eventually, after sharing the experiment on social media, he also lost the AI overview too. But in the end, the traffic was completely unchanged throughout this whole experiment. This may indicate that so far, AI overviews have a minor impact on CTR, at least in this case. This week, we're starting a new Authority Hacker News tradition, the debate of the week. Here is this week's debate. Do you think Google will penalize Perplexity for its quality programmatic SEO play, despite using AI content in their own SERPs? Or will they let them run with it? We'd love to know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this video, you'll probably also like this video, where we dove deep into the Google algorithm leak.